Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be a part of that camp. Just they've had a huge impact on the lacrosse area in general, and they're great people for young athletes to look up to with all the success that they've had. So just being able to be there for the younger girls to try to encourage them, inspire them, to give them things to work on was a lot of fun.
Former Lacrosse Aquinas standout basketball player Lexi Donarski recently helped with the Davis brothers basketball camp hosted by brothers Johnny and Jordan Davis. She joked about her favorite moments from the camp.
My favorite moment was the three-point contest between me and Johnny. I did beat him, and he already said he's coming for me next year.
The Donarski family loves all things basketball. Lexi's sister, Macy, is currently a redshirt freshman at the University of Montana.
Yeah, so my sister redshirted her freshman year due to injury, so I'm really excited to see what this next year will bring for her. I feel like she's going to have a great year and a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to watch most of their games.
Lexi's dad, Dave, is currently the head coach for Aquinas girls basketball. Lexi touched on what it's like having her dad as a coach in high school.
As a coach is challenging. They really pushed me to be the player and the person that I am today, and I just think that you get pushed harder when your parents are the coach. Everything's your fault. You just have to learn and grow through all of it, and yeah, I owe everything to them for the player that I am today.
Lexi also touched on what it means for her to have the family support that she does.
Yeah, going to school so far away from home, it's awesome that they're willing to travel to almost all of my games. My parents and my grandma are at almost everything. So just being able to see them a lot throughout the course of the season and just having their support for all of the games.
She discussed what a day in the life in the off season for her is like.
I would say off-season, preseason is still very heavily focused on lift and conditioning and getting ready for games, and then our practices also start to build up. It's all tracked by load and the work that we put in during practice, but just getting us ready for games, so working on your individual workouts outside of practice and getting the whole team together, working on team offense and team defense to make sure that we're ready for the first game.
Donarski talked about how for her, it was all things basketball from a young age.
It was always just basketball for me. I feel like part of that came from the influence of my parents, that we've always just been a basketball family, but it's always something that I've loved and really enjoyed and just like to really put the work in.
At Aquinas, Lexi was one of, if not the best girls basketball player to go through the school. She's one of 11 members of the Girls Basketball 1,000 Point Club and the only one on that list over 2,000 career points. She talked about what it's like to be back at a gym she once tore up.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to be back here, and just high school was a lot of fun, and we were very successful in all of the sports that I was a part of. Just being on a lot of the same girls playing volleyball and basketball and running track together, we had a lot of fun and we had a lot of success.
Donarski had a senior campaign to remember in high school, winning numerous state awards and being named to prestigious All-American games. Due to the COVID pandemic, it was a tough year for her. She discussed what 2020 was like on her as an athlete.
2020 was a lot of fun, but it also was a tough year. I mean, we go to state in volleyball, we go to state in basketball, for it to be cut short by about a day from winning a third consecutive state title. So that was really hard. That was a rough couple days, and actually the same day that they canceled the state tournament, they canceled the McDonald's All-American game, the Jordan Brand Classic game, and the American Family Insurance three-point high school contest. So that was a tough day for sure, but we had a great support system with our team, and we believed in ourselves. We knew that we could get it done a third year in a row. So it was just really sad that we weren't able to play in that final game, especially since we had won the semifinal 2 days before what would have been the championship. And then also going to college as a freshman during COVID was also challenging. Just you couldn't even see your teammates outside of practice. You had to wear masks during practice. Just it was difficult. If you were riding with a teammate in a car, you had to have masks on the whole time. So it was a tough year for sure, but it was also a lot of fun, and we got to experience a lot. And just joining college basketball and starting off my freshman season and stuff, it was fun, but 2020 was also a hard year.
Lexi committed to Iowa State when she wasn't in high school yet, at the age of 14. She went over what that experience was like.
I had grown up going to games my whole life. My dad had coached a couple people that played there or coached there, and so we grew up going to Ames to go watch games all the time, and I just knew that that was the environment that I wanted to play in. Just playing in front of 10,000 fans every single game, I knew it was what I wanted to do. So when I got offered before high school, my parents and I had talked, and we were like, if I wait 2 years, I'm still going to end up going there, so I might as well just go there now. So I committed very, very early, and I'm thankful for all of my experiences there, just being able to play in front of that crowd. And I still have lifelong friends and my teammates that I still keep in touch with almost every single day. So it was a good experience.
She played in 3 different Iowa State rivalries, but says the famed Duke-UNC rivalry is quite similar.
Yeah, they're both sellout crowds, both Iowa and Iowa State and Duke Carolina. It's a sellout every single time we play. It's been fun to be a part of so many big rivalry games like that, and I'm really looking forward to being able to play Duke at home and at Duke again next year, since they're the only team in the ACC that we will get to play twice.
Having transferred from Iowa State to North Carolina, Lexi dove into what the transfer portal was like for her.
Yeah, the transfer portal was pretty hectic. I decided pretty late that I was going to take online classes to graduate from Iowa State over the summer so I could start my master's program and use my COVID year to finish my master's also. So it was just, UNC just happened to be the perfect fit for both basketball and school. I got accepted into the MBA program, which is a 2-year program, which fits perfectly with my eligibility and academics. So it was a great experience for me to be able to accomplish 2 different things that I wanted to at once.
Donarski has played the face of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, numerous times. She talked about what that experience is like.
Yeah, Caitlin's done a lot for women's basketball in general, at the college level, at the professional level. Even before college, she was breaking records and experiencing a lot of success. I've played against her in high school, in AAU, in college, my first 3 years. She's a lot of fun to play against because she's such a good player that it's fun to guard her and to accept that challenge every time. But it's been really fun to witness all of the success that she's been having and just the way that she's impacted women's sports and women's basketball.
She closed with what it means being a female athlete when women's sports are as prevalent as ever.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better time to be a female athlete, especially a female basketball player, I feel like, with so many people that have been bringing more attention to women's sports and women's basketball. So it's a great time to be a part of it, and I'm just looking forward to enjoying my last year of college basketball.
Lexi's dad, Dave, has been the coach of the Aquinas Blue Girls Heroes basketball team since 2014. He talked about what it was like going to state tournaments with his daughter.
Yeah, it was a blast. I probably didn't appreciate it as much as I should have at the time, but you know, as good as she might have been, we just had so many kids around her that were really special. So that group, all the way from my start in 2014 till now, has been just a blast. So yeah, it's just a culture that keeps building on each other. It's energizing and super fun to be a part of.
Dave also touched on what it means for him to see his daughters, Lexi and Macy, grow up and be as successful as they are.
Well, certainly you're proud of them as a parent and that, and I think of the influences that, because it does take a village to raise them, right? And I just think of their youth sports and me being a part of that guys program for 10 years that, you know, with Rick Schneider at the helm, they did so many great things, won 3 state titles, to finish runner-up 2 times. So them being a part of that success, I think really built on kind of what we wanted to do once they started to get old enough to play.
He ended with what it means for him to have 2 daughters on the 1,000 point club for Aquinas.
No, it's great. I feel like they were in the business of winning games over, you know, making shots, and they could do a little bit of both. But there's a lot of great players on that wall, all of which my kids had the pleasure of playing with. So it's fun to see it, and then it's surreal in a way like that. It went really fast, and I think people had warned me about enjoying it while it was happening, and really now I look back and think, boy, those were really special times and stuff that I'll cherish forever. But no, it's been a great run, watching them grow up and watching the kids in our program kind of grow around them as well, which has been fun.